Aw.
Yeah,
Oh, for mugshots?
yeah.
Oh yeah, because
Got it.
Because while I'm flattered, I'm gonna have to pass, man. I'm not a fan of
Uh,
interviews, and I really don't like talking to people I don't know. Sweet
hey,
of you.
we're on.
Okay.
We are?
nice.
Okay, so let me just confirm with on my end.
Yeah, we're reading green too.
And okay, so shall we start?
Yeah, go ahead, Canada.
All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hello and welcome, one and all, to the next installment of the Barcast, where the bar gets impossibly lower every time. So, Flutter Priest is out on some personal business right now, and Anon Pencil is attempting to work through some technical difficulties. So, until she gets back on, I will be acting orator for this session. Today, we have a special guest with us. We have the man, the myth, the legend, the reviewer, PaulAsaran. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello. Great to have you here. And with us, we also have the usual shit posters. We've got Enigmatic Otaku.
I'm upsetty, so I want some spaghetti.
We've got Milk.
I'm here.
And we've got Ravage.
Your waffles have made me sick. Fetch the bucket.
And of course, we've got Flutter Priest in spirit. So, with that being said, Paul, we're happy to have you on here. And we would like to start off with some general interview questions. The first one being pretty standard. How did you get into this degenerate fandom?
This is all my sister's fault.
Oh, really? Do elaborate.
I went to live with my sister in Japan for a few months.
Oh.
And while I was there, I was kind of looking for a job while I was there. But in the meantime, she had thought that I might be interested in My Little Pony. Now, at that point, season 3 had just ended. And I knew it was a fan thing. People were loving it and everything, but I just didn't care. I mean, it wasn't a matter of this little girl showing why I don't care. I just didn't care. But she showed it to me, and yeah, I pretty much fell in love with it by episode 3 or something like that. She's completely unaware that I watched all 3 seasons probably 3 times during the 3 months that I lived there with her. She's aware that I am a fan. She's aware that I write, fan fiction and reviews, but I don't think she knows just what she really started. So, Beth,
So she
you're
does not know.
listening to this right here. Thank you.
So she does not know the monster that she created.
No, she really has no idea.
Incredible, incredible. But no, that's actually a really unique start to it. I mean, moving halfway across the world and then discovering it in Japan, of all places.
Yep.
Jesus. So we'll segue into the next most important, most politically charged question that we will ever hear on this cast. Who was best pony?
Luna.
Now that I can get behind.
Yeah, correct.
All
correct
right, this
answer.
man is always welcome back on this cast.
Why
And
do
we
you
have
think she's my avatar, man?
You would get behind Luna, wouldn't you, Flamin?
Oh, you know I would get behind that. I would Neil Armstrong the shit out of her.
Wait, what are we talking about?
We are talking about how I'd Neil Armstrong Princess Luna's bubbly plot. Now that you're here, you may continue as the prime orator.
No, fuck you. You're doing this. You took it. It's yours. You're the one who wants to fuck Luna. You're in charge. I'm gonna drink.
Get a ring.
Fucking do it.
Yeah, why do I feel like Pencil's saying this while swishing around a bottle in her arms?
Well, it's a bottle.
And she will not tell us what it is.
It's scotch.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right. So you have it, heard from the reviewer himself. Luna is best pony. And with that, the debate is ultimately settled from here until the end of time. So I believe, am I missing one more general question? I believe there were 3. Pencil?
Are you asking how did you get involved in the fandom? What do you do for the fandom, and who is best pony?
Yes, of course. So, Paul, for those of the uninitiated, what do you contribute to this degeneracy that is the MLP fandom?
Well, I do have a review blog. Comes out every week, 5 to 6 stories reviewed. I've been keeping that up for, I want to say, 2, maybe 3 years now.
Wow.
And I am pretty happy to say that I have never actually missed a week, unless it was scheduled.
So you typically do one per week.
Do one what? Review or a blog?
Review.
No, I do 5 to 6 reviews per week.
Oh,
One
damn.
blog.
Ooh, that's impressive.
Yeah,
Thank you.
seriously, that's some dedication.
And
I'm
I'm al-
assuming.
And I am also a writer, so I have how many do I have? Hold on one second. I have 40 stories right now, and I think I'm closing in. Plus my actual word count. Not quite 2 million words.
Damn. That is some impressive dedication, I must say. And I'm guessing with all that activity, you're enjoying what you're doing.
I don't think I'd get this far if I didn't. So yeah.
Indeed, although some people after a while of habitual action consider it more of a job as opposed to something that they enjoy. But I'm glad to hear that you're still as vested in it as you are. That's very important.
Yeah, I've never
So-
considered this to be a
So,
job.
Paul, I have a personal question for you.
Oh, here we go.
あなたは日本人ですか?
Now you're going into areas I do not understand, sir. Three
Yeah,
months
shut the
not
fuck
knowing
up,
the
Enigma.
language.
You were in Japan looking for a job, and yet you didn't speak the language?
The job I was looking for was English teacher, actually. That's what my sister does.
Well, there you have it. Enigma is a huge fucking weeb.
God, get wrecked.
Although my sister is fluent, but she's been there for like 11, 12 years now, so.
Of course, right.
Right.
Indeed. So with those 2 key points, 3 key points actually, the fourth being Enigma being a fucking asshole, weeb, because weebs and assholes are one and the same. Let us continue with the questions from the fandom. So we'll move on right away to questions from RK Striker JK5. And he asks firstly, what is your favorite non-MLP franchise?
Okay, non-MLP franchise. That's kind of hard because honestly, I'm not watching anything on TV except for MLP. In fact, I don't even have TV service. Period. So if
So
it's not MLP, I'm not watching it. But
Hold on. Are you telling me that the only thing that you watch on TV ever is just My Little Pony?
right now, yes.
Holy shit. I mean, how
I really have to reiterate that impressive dedication.
The pencil.
Now, before we go in any deeper than that, I must note that I have not seen anything of the current season, but only because I am rewatching the entire franchise from scratch. I'm currently just started season 5.
Ah, so you're still making your way downtown.
Like
Walking
as
fast.
far as rewatching it all, yes.
Indeed.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez. Have you ever thought of possibly expanding into other fandoms? And if so, which ones were you thinking of? Or that interested you, rather?
I have some cousins who are absolutely crazy about the Harry Potter fandom.
Ah, okay.
There's one area that I could potentially move into. Whenever I was younger, I don't know if anyone remembers Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Of course, we talk about Star Trek on here a lot. I'm a huge Trekkie.
Deep Space Nine was pretty much the only Star Trek I really liked. In fact, I have pretty much seen and own all the episodes. So there's one right there. You can put me down for that. Put me down for that one.
But well, hold on. Have you seen the other Star Treks?
Yes, not extensively. Like I've seen a whole bunch of Next Generation because for some reason they air that one all friggin' time. But I've seen some of the original series. I have all the original series movies.
But I mean, no, just to be clear, we're talking then no Voyager, no Enterprise, right?
I've seen a very little bit of Voyager, and I have not seen. I think I might have seen an episode of Enterprise. So
In small amounts.
yeah. So I'm a fan of the old Star Trek movies, the first 6, and I'm a big fan of Deep Space Nine. But I've never been too big on Next Generation, despite seeing a whole lot of it, and I'm not really into all the rest of them. That's for what little I've seen.
Gotcha.
Oh, I guess I will have to bite my tongue and not actually tear yours out through your teeth. So you enjoy that, DS9.
Indeed.
Okay, I appreciate that. I like my
A
tongue
fate most unpleasant spared. Now, from the same user, I'm guessing I guess you implicitly answered the second question, which is, have you ever written or reviewed anything other than MLP, correct?
I technically have, but it was a long time ago, and I don't have any of them in storage anywhere anymore. So
Do you happen to remember what it was for?
there was an old anime called Fushigi Yugi. I tried to write one for that.
Ah, okay.
I remember that anime. Okay.
Yeah, my
Okay.
sister got into me. I saw it again maybe 4 or 5 years ago with my sister. 'Cause she's the one that got me into it. Bear in mind, my older sister, was like my idol for me growing up. So we share a lot of interests, and anime was a big one for her. So, but regardless, she showed it to me way back when it was first coming out. I saw Shigeki again maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I was honestly looking at it like, what was I thinking?
Right. No, makes sense. Makes sense. And nextly, another question for you from the same user. You fight Jay Sherman. How badly do you kick his ass?
Well, considering Jay Sherman weighs more than a tank, I'm not sure. But in theory, if I get one hit in, I've won already. So
As great of an answer as any. Now, we move on to Lisa Claire. And he asks, how do you manage to write so many reviews so consistently?
I have a schedule and I stick to it. And by schedule, I mean a spreadsheet that is at least 5 weeks ahead of time at all times.
Good Lord, man.
I also have, actually, no, I have two spreadsheets. I've got the first spreadsheet that says what I am going to be reviewing every week. Then I've got a second spreadsheet that has day by day word counts for what stories I'm reading every day. And I stick to it.
You know,
I stick to it.
I think this guest is the closest we have to Twilight Sparkle.
I've heard that before.
And that's you heard that before. That's telling. That's awesome though. So you're an incredibly organized person. We can get.
I really am, yes.
Fair
And
enough.
that organization is one of the major things that keeps me on track and going all the time.
Indeed, and I'm sure at some point in our lives we could have all used a little bit of that knowledge for ourselves. I know I sure can right fucking now.
Yeah.
So
it helps with writing too. So.
oh yeah, I'm still trying to hop on that bandwagon for scheduling writing. But continuing on,
Bandwagon, that's what it's called. Okay, good to know, Flam.
Yes. So Lisa Claire also asks, what are your thoughts on Octavia?
There are best ponies, there are best main sixes. Octavia is best background pony.
Perfect. And like with Luna, I can also get behind that. Giggity.
In fact, and I might as well go ahead and just throw this in there that I wrote about it, and I still consider Luna and Octavia to be OTP.
That's an interesting pairing.
That
Yeah,
really is.
Kind of see that actually.
I loved writing that story.
I mean, I can already see Luna attending a symphony by Octavia and immediately getting fucking taken by her. You know what? That'd actually be pretty funny and romantic at the same time. You know what, Paul? Write it.
Oh, well,
I've
here's
already written it.
Then you know what? I'm taking the idea for myself and running with it. Ha, motherfuckers.
Not so fast. Lise actually owes me a story, a Luna and Octavia love story.
Does
Uh-oh.
Lise really?
Yes, he does.
Well, you can look
That
at these.
is-
That was my bet for the 4chan Cup. That was my bet for the 4chan Cup 2 years ago.
Wait, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I still owe somebody a story. I know Milk already wrote me the story he owed me, but yeah, Lise, get on that shit.
I remember I lost my life saving of $2 during that day 2 years ago.
Then it's settled.
Good times.
Lise, you hereby must deliver soon. And then his final question asks, since a lot of people have been doing it lately, would you hold a contest of your own at some point in the near future? Happy face.
Ooh, happy face. Well, I don't really have anything to offer as far as a prize for winning said contest, other than say a feature on my blog. But
You can write a story for
I
somebody.
know it's possible.
Yeah, that is possible. I mean, with the amount of followers you have, I'm sure at
The
least
amount
one
of followers,
person
the
would.
number of stories that I've got, I'm sure I could come up with something. I just don't know what I do, so I'd have to brainstorm it. I've never considered it before.
Oh, well, I guess it's something to mull over.
It is indeed.
Indeed. Righto, then. Then that ends Lisa's questions, and we shall move on to Shakespearicles.
Who is here in the chat?
Indeed.
Posting it up.
How's it going,
Yeah.
Shaky? So, and he quotes, it's not how long a story is, but how long it stays with you. And he says, as a writer with a penchant for horror, which horror story slash film slash show has stuck with you the most, and why?
There was a story, I think it was written by J.R. Martin, called Sand Kings. And I don't know if I would call it original, but it was the way it was handled that made it keep with me. I remember in particular there was a scene, because the entire story is about this guy who gets these little sentient creatures, almost like ants, really. And the whole story involves him watching them fight little armies, and he's like their god to them. But then they escape, and they're all over his house. And he's trying to find some way to get rid of them, but he also doesn't want any authorities to find out. So at one point, he's got this friend to come over, and he's got to keep her quiet because she knows that he had them, and she knows, and she didn't like them in the first place. So at some point, they're all in his basement. He knows they're in the basement, so he gets her to the basement. He says he's gonna show her something, kicks her down the stairs, and closes the door. And the rest, and for the next scene, I don't know, 200, 300 words or whatever. She's basically down there screaming her ass off, and you can't see anything. And there's the important thing for me when it comes to a horror. The imagination is much, much stronger than anything you can describe in writing. Anything at all. So if you really want to scare someone, let them do it on their own. And Sand Kings did that.
Right. One could also counter that trying to evoke imagination out of the reader, you may not actually get that reaction you're hoping for from the reader.
That's true. That's a risk. It's how you handle it.
Indeed, and in fact,
And
people
course,
catch a lot of flack.
Everyone reads their stories differently, so of course, how I look at it might be completely different from how everyone else looks at it. But as far as I'm concerned, describe it just enough to get the image started in their head. That's how I get scared, is my own imagination taking over afterwards.
I can agree with that, with how many times I've stayed awake at night and not being able to fall fucking asleep. Yeah. So that's the only
question. As far as shows go, just to go ahead and throw this in there, 1408 was a pretty good one to me.
Sweet. So that's the end of his questions, and we move on to Trickster Forrester, and he asks, firstly, what is your favorite non-MLP cartoon, and would you fuck it?
Okay, well, first thing, are we talking about a whole cartoon? Because that'd be pretty hard to fuck. There's some guys in there. No, thank you.
I guess maybe just cartoon character. Yeah, I'd say cartoon character.
All right, if I had to pick one cartoon character, oh, that's a toughie because there are so many hot cartoon characters out there.
Well, I mean, if you want to put your dick in all of them in a series, I mean, that's your prerogative, but
no, not really.
Or the reel itself. You may want to fuck the actual cartoon reel, but.
Well, I mean, Flam, are you really
no.
shit about it?
Let's go ahead. Let's talk about would you fuck it. Let's go ahead and do Kim Possible. I used to love Kim Possible.
Woo! Fucking.
Flam.
Yes.
Let's be real. Would you not Jessica Rabbit?
Really,
I believe anyone with 2 brain cells would Jessica Rabbit.
No, not my type, even remotely.
My choice would.
She's everybody's type.
No.
My choice would be Korra from Legend of Korra.
That's a good choice too.
She would break you. She would just be like, "Oh, you want to fuck?" And your body, your spine would just bend in half as she took what she wanted from you and left you a used up little pile of refuse on the side of the shore. You would not handle all of that clit, okay? No.
You can't handle the truth.
Isn't it like every man's prerogative to be, death by snoo, for God's sake? I mean...
Exactly. The spirit is willing, but the body is weak.
The only time
It'll be a happy way to die.
Yeah. He would finally get one moment of happiness before he died in his
men
pathetic
cared
life.
about that, there would be no one caring about Rogue from the X-Men.
I like how Tumer in the comments says that Korra has an arm for a clit.
Come on, definitely.
As an arm for a... Jesus fucking Christ. What is it like? Is it like that scene in Family Guy where it's just like under Chuck Norris's beard is just another fist, so under Cora's clothes is just another fucking fist? Her clit is just a fist.
I love that Mare actually spelled Korra wrong and spelled her Korea.
Korea has an arm for a clit. That's great. I should.
Okay.
North and South Korea OTP. So, now, have you ever slapped a penguin? And if so, how much of an orgasmic rush did you achieve from the act?
I have not slapped a penguin. Now I have slapped a chicken. I did not gain any orgasmic rush from it though.
But are you sure?
I am positive.
Very well. And what was it like? What kind of rush did you get from slapping that cock?
Honestly, it was just a matter of making sure the stupid thing didn't spur me. So I was not in pain, and that was all I needed to care about.
Very well.
Let it be known that having grown up around many roosters, I don't care for the majority of them.
Yeah, I had a couple friends who had chickens. They were either great or terrible fucking creatures.
We had one that was really good. The rest of them, not so much. Now you throw goats in the mix; those things are a pain in the ass.
On a quick
Goats.
on a quick digression, I had a friend who had a couple chickens and a rooster. They got the rooster because they felt like they just wanted eggs and stuff. So
You don't have to have a rooster to have eggs.
yeah, they want eggs to get chicks and stuff. So
Okay, we've done that.
the rooster then, it like cock-a-doodle-doo whatever in the morning. They expected that, but this rooster was different. It would not stop cock-a-doodling until about 1 p.m. From 5 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Not so uncommon. Having had many of them, that is not an uncommon thing. Crowing
Jesus.
is not just a morning thing.
Jesus. But yeah, the thing was obnoxious and they had to get rid of it. So
As long as they don't get guineas. Guineas are a million times worse than a rooster.
oh my god. I'll have to look into that. Nextly, what flavor color is your favorite to listen to? Oh Jesus
Blue.
Christ.
Da-ba-dee-da-ba-die.
Sweet. I'm same, yeah. And have you ever German suplexed a deer in an attempt to befriend it?
I have not German suplexed a deer. I have seen the insides of the deer at a couple of instances, but they were never very happy with the matter, so friendship was not going to happen.
But was it the result of someone suplexing the deer?
Unless my mom and dad were suplexing deer in the woods and I didn't know about it, no.
You never know. There are some things mom and dad will never tell you.
That's true.
That's true. I think he's referencing this one anime, Nichijou, where a principal suplexes a deer and then befriends it at the end.
I vaguely recall that.
Jesus.
I do.
And
I recall it.
lastly, what would you say is the number one reason for people to read your works?
Well, whenever I look at a story and how I might approach it, one of the very first things that I look at is, okay, what does every other author on Earth want to do with this? I'm not doing that. So that would be my answer for you, because I try to avoid the things that everyone else does. I don't always succeed, but if something pops into my mind and it says, oh yeah, millions of people either would have done this, or the idea is so obvious that people will do this, then I don't want to do it.
Interesting. But what if you also do something that everyone else has already done and put a different twist on it? Have you done that?
My story foundations would be a good example for it.
Well, there you go.
Everyone writes Scootaloo. Mad, miserable, sad,
Well,
Scootaloo.
that's debatable, but go
all
on.
that fun stuff. And I decided if I had to write a Scootaloo story eventually, she is the best of the CMC. How do I do that? I don't know you. I'm not answering that phone. How do I do that and make it somewhat original? Let's make Rainbow pregnant.
Mhm.
Had anyone done that before? I don't think they had, so I went and did it. I could be wrong, but
Well, there you have it, guys. Everyone, go read Foundations.
I
Do
will
it
add
after
it
the
to
cast.
the Barcast, actually. So if you want to find it, you can look in our featured stories folder and you will find it there.
Indeed.
Excellent.
Read it, fund it, write a comment. Next, we go to That Other Guy.
Oh.
Oh, right. Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Oh, God. The hospital's giving me something. I think they injected spiders in my head. I can hear them crawl inside. I don't feel right. Why am I tasting blue?
I'm proud of you. Flam, I am proud that you were able to do that last little bit so fluidly. Good
I
job.
was impressed.
Well then, I don't thank you for that, but I don't think that was actually a question, so we shall move on into a
Yeah.
more
Good
subtly
enough
toned. Into a more subtly toned. Do earth ponies need more love, or should they stay in the mud?
I'd say that they need more love.
You know, I think they do too. I happen to agree. What do you guys think?
I think they get enough love as it is.
Really? It seems to be
Yeah.
that the unicorns tend to be the favorite due to the ease they can write a unicorn and have more freedom with it, but maybe that's just me.
Well, if you look at it, they tend to be a much more familial group that stays together compared to unicorns and Pegasi who send their kids off to school when they barely see them. Parents in which case, they're off doing
Damn.
what the fuck ever everywhere, and they're going to magic school, etc. Where are the Earth ponies going? They're not going shit. They're going to school and coming home to work on the family farm.
Well,
They
at least
probably
they
get
have
more
a
love in
family.
their childhood than anyone else except for Rainbow Dash because of her parents. So there you go.
Well, there you have it. We move on to the next question, which writes, what is worst pony fic premise you can make up on the spot?
Ooh, I'm ready. Do it.
That I can make up on the spot. Crap. And you put me on the spot, and I hate being on the spot. This is why I have schedules. Twilight and schedules. There
Well,
we go.
then-
I have something involving Twilight and schedules. I'm not sure exactly what yet, but it will involve Twilight and her obsessive love affair with schedules.
Do
And
it.
since I am so very familiar with that particular obsession, it shouldn't be too hard to write.
See, that doesn't sound like a terrible idea, though. I'm trying to think of like bad, because if we're talking bad, I can think one where Twilight decides she wants to try being a mama, so she takes Spike, stuffs him up her vagina, and then rebirths him.
Oh, God.
I don't like crack fics, and I'm not very good at coming up with them because I am shitty at humor. So
How about every time Pinky throws a party, a cat dies somewhere?
I would write that.
And she throws a huge week of a bunch of birthday parties and like Royal Noble, whatever, and then there's just a horde of dead cats in
now,
the street.
why the heck would we make it a cat though? I mean, okay, Rarity might cry and Fluttershy might cry. So what? You really want to make it serious? Make a Folk die.
A child dies for Pinky's parties. Pinky sacrifices a child for the party gods every time she throws a party. Oh, I love it.
Holy shit, that actually sounds like something that Pencil would write, which means it's a terrible premise for crack fics.
Yeah, you did a good job. No, great job.
So Pinky is throwing these parties with the Spock philosophy of the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. No, that is a great
you run
crack
out of
fic
children
premise.
too fast.
That's why she keeps that. Oh, are you kidding me? People are having babies every day. It's just they just don't realize the child mortality rate in Equestria is so high. But there you go. No, Paul, you win. That is a terrible premise. Good job.
Indeed. And Paul, if you don't write that, Pencil, you have an incredible delivery mechanism for this stuff. You should write it.
I would totally support that. You go ahead. If I wrote it, it would be granted, it's gonna be shit anyway, but go ahead.
And get drunk first too, because that'll induce most hilarity.
I recommend such things.
Yes. So we move on to Random 284, who asks, firstly, how did you initially start reviewing stories?
That's kind of hard to say on account of the fact that I mostly kept reading stories and I would put comments down and it would result in some debate or argument going on. The debate and argument would take up hours of my time, and I realized, why the heck am I doing this and getting into these long debates when I can just write one big review and get everything I want to say said. So, plus I saw too many stories that were just cringeworthy, and I was like, this stuff these people need help. And apparently I must know something because people are reading my shit. So
Okay, makes sense. So,
but there was no one moment where I was like, I am going to do reviews. It was sort of a gradual build up to the point where I decided, yeah, all right, I'm going to do this.
okay, so there was no really catalyst story or anything. You didn't read like a terrible story and you're like, you know what, something's got to happen. Like,
Nothing like that, no.
Okay, fair enough. He asks next, which character is the worst and why? So worst pony and why?
Worst pony. I've never actually picked out a worst pony.
So I'm sorry in advance to the Barcast for political questions, but this has to be asked.
I really don't know. Like, it would be so easy to name someone obvious, like, say, upper crust, except that I wrote a story about upper crust and made her awesome, so I can't do that. I'm
Okay,
going to
so-
go ahead and say that I don't like. Now, I love Twilight Sparkle, but I'm not crazy about Twilight Corn. So we'll just put that in there.
Oh, the fact that Twilight is just an alicorn in
The
general.
emphasis on the just part. She can't even get anyone to care about giving her a taxi ride.
Oh yeah, that's true. Forgot about
That
that.
is true. Yeah, what the fuck?
Like, nobody,
how-
like, oh yay, she's become an alicorn now. Nobody cares.
You know,
How do you
it
not
makes
put
me.
your foot in the street and just go, I am a fucking princess. You stop that fucking car. Like, I don't
Exactly.
understand.
Why did
You know-
you do that?
It makes me wonder. As a princess, does she even have any funds? Because everything she got was for free.
I don't have a clue. Unless Celestia's just increased her allowance by a couple $100,000.
Yeah,
That could
so
be
yeah.
interesting.
Is there a Castle of Friendship treasury or something like that? And oh my
It
God,
would-
if that's the
it
case,
would
who's
have
her
to-
account?
Just
who's
do
her
whatever
accountant?
it wants, whenever it wants to. So maybe it just makes it old for her. I don't know.
Yeah, and in that case, who the hell are her accountants?
I feel sorry for
There's-
whoever they are.
I'm sorry, but I have to say that's another story idea. Princess Twilight gets audited by the Pony Revenue Service.
How many times has
You
24
write
been
that.
destroyed? You're gonna have to pay for all that shit, bro.
Does saving the Equestria grant you like a tax audit?
She's
Flam,
like,
Flam,
yeah.
Flam, you need to write this. This is a thing that you need to do.
Well, what? Just because it's tangentially my line of work?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, fine. Fuck it. I will. So expect at some point in the future Twilight Sparkle getting audited by the PRS or whatever the
I'll
fuck.
take pride when I
call it.
see it.
There we go. It'll be a crack fic. Look at it somewhere. I'll tell you when it's up. So nextly, which episode of MLP do you hate while most people like, and which episode do you like that most others hate?
Well, I'm not very keen on the actual hate-like ratio of every episode, so I couldn't be able to say that for certain. I can say that I hate Twilight's Kingdom. So there's that.
Interesting.
Which one?
Twilight's Kingdom.
Oh.
Wait, was that the season? Was that the season premiere for the one where they had to give up the elements?
No, that was the season finale for when they had to fight T-Rex.
Oh.
Oh, that one. Okay, where she went all Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Pony Ball Z. Hated it. Especially that life lesson they had at the end of the show. Stupidest lesson we could give our kids ever.
What was that lesson again?
Well, as far as my interpretation of it is, whenever the back is against the wall and the villain's about to win, go ahead and give up everything that gives you a fighting chance, turn around and bend over and expect everything to go well, because that's how life works, kids. And we're sorry it's been 10 years whenever you choose not to shoot that guy who came in with a knife and is now going to rip and murder you because you thought that the magic of friendship will save you.
Okay.
That is kind of an interesting idea. Have they had an episode where they've essentially said that the magic of friendship actually can't solve everything?
I think they have mentioned it, but only in the early episodes. Don't think they did it in later episodes.
Yeah, originally with Gilda, they just said, nah, Gilda, you a bad pony, go away.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
They did that with her, and and also they had Trixie. Whenever Trixie first showed up, they didn't try to
Mhm.
stop her and keep her and like change her or anything. They just let her go. You have to learn that lesson on your own.
And then there's the time she took over a sovereign town from the crown, essentially. So
Yeah.
so that happened. So all right. Well,
So
there we
that's
go.
one. Oh, and I guess I should go ahead and say which one I like that a lot of people hate.
Mhm.
I will, even though I don't like Twilight Corn, I actually have nothing against Magical Mysteries here.
I'm sorry, which one?
Magical, it's where Twilight
Oh,
goes alicorn.
Yeah,
Ah,
I
right, that
don't
one.
like Twilight Corn in general, but I like the episode itself.
I like the songs.
Even accepting all the terrible things it meant for the future.
Yeah, there were too many songs in my opinion.
I just didn't like a lot of them.
Yeah, fair
But
enough.
I mean, like, I'm not angry, ragey about. I think making her an Alucard was a stupid idea, but it's happened now. It's in the past. It's fine.
Yeah, you got to get used to it. So.
Like
Indeed.
my favorite part of that episode was the part where Pinky gets her cutie mark and the whole town was like, Pinky!
Yes, that's actually my favorite part in the entire franchise. That is my favorite moment.
Indeed. No, it was a good episode, but yeah, just too many songs for me. It kind of just took away from the whole thing. But that's just me. I'm retarded like that. So,
yes, you
we're
are.
talking about something.
Indeed, and I'm glad you all agree with me. So we move on to the last question from Random, and he asks, "What mistake in writing, in your opinion, do you see made the most?"
I don't know if I would call it a mistake because it's one of those things that's really hard to get right. And even when you do get right, it's still kind of wrong. And that is getting the emotion to come out of pretty much any scene. There are some people who take and don't try to, they don't put enough descriptors or whatever in there to actually make it work. Some people that go and drag on for way too long trying to milk every bit of emotion they can out of it. There's a balance and it's very, very hard to get. And whenever I see it, I'm very happy to see it, but I don't see it very often.
That is actually a very, very, very good point. Is one of the things that people take from stories is how the story makes them feel, and whatever that emotion is. And if they don't feel it the way that story is meant to convey it based on the description, based on whatever, then of course it's not going to be a very memorable story for them and may even be considered a waste of time.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's actually a great point that you brought up, is just practice, try to get it right. And if you yourself, one good metric, and it's really hard to do, is if you yourself don't feel a modicum of the emotion you're trying to convey, people probably won't feel that emotion.
Yes,
It's true.
I fully agree with that. In fact, just to give a good example, there's a story that I wrote. It's called Twilight's Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
I sobbed through about half that story. So if you're not doing that, you're not doing it right.
Indeed, I had a similar more leveled experience when I was either writing Flower Mare or despite the couple grammatical errors I made, and I had to write a poem for the sequel of it, and I fucking hate poetry, and I went back and read the poem I read, and I kind of had that itch, quote unquote, in my eye, and I'm like, God damn it, what the fuck did I do?
Right.
No, when I wrote Always Here, I was fucked up when I wrote Always Here too, and I don't mean that in the alcohol sense.
If you,
Like,
yeah.
I wrote that story and I was just like done with it, and Priest contacted me. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I need a drink."
Not. This show I'm running my ass, and I love it.
Jesus, guys, that's great. That's great. Then that's honestly that. I have never gotten to that point yet, but one day I hope to actually finish a story, press the publish button after editing, and just be like, sigh and just walk away. Like it actually took a lot in a good way out of me. Like it made me.
Oh no, this was not a good way. Like, you should understand, something like Always Here, When the Bow Breaks are in some part about me. So when you're reading back over, you're like, wow, God, no, fucking.
Well, I did some pretty terrible things to Twilight Corn and Twilight's Inferno, and I got to admit that there's this one part of me that feels so absolutely horrible for what I'm doing, and I did cry because I was doing it, but then there's another part of me that's like, this is good, and I love it. So I hate it, and I love it, and I'm so confused, but I'm going to keep on going. So.
No, it's great, honestly, and that was a great point to bring up. So thank you, Random, for that question. Spurred some really nice conversation. And now we move on to Two Mare, who boops everyone first. And then he says, to Mr. Pale Ass Man. What? That's a great way to start, Mare. Like, Pale Ass Man. 1. What is your crippling pony weakness, such as socks, chest floof, cat pones, giant futa, cocks, etc.?
Cat bones.
Cat pones are cute.
Really?
Cat pones are super.
They are ridiculously cute. Give me Fudge Muffin and a few others.
Yeah, like I haven't seen them often, but when I've seen like a drawing of like the main 6 as cats, like I honestly didn't know how to feel about them. I was just like, that's amazingly drawn, but why?
Cat pones, they're still horses. They're just more cat-like.
Yeah, they have certain cat features to them, and I love the one. Again, this is Captain Fudge Muffin. I think I'm thinking about. who has them where they're all they still look like ponies. They've got cat features and they're talking to you, and everything they're saying is exactly what you would expect a cat to be saying. It's wonderful.
Oh, that kind of cat pony. Then I don't know what the fuck I was looking at. Good lord.
Well, I posted a couple in the because cat ponies. I love them so much.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 2. Is there any story you regret posting or writing?
No. Not a one. Everything that I've written, I love. Now, some of them are worse than others and could probably use some fixing, but I'm not going to do that.
Of course.
I'm proud of everything that I've done.
No, that's great. Honestly, like you wrote a work for a reason, and after publishing it, you may have second thoughts about maybe how it should have gone about, as you've said. But yeah, I don't know if you feel regret for writing something. I mean,
why did you write it in the first place?
Yeah,
unless somebody's paying you to write it.
Well, yeah, that's
clear.
And this is why I've never
got those regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to write. I wrote 2 commissions, and one was published. A couple of you know it, and another one I cannot publish on the commissioner's request. And that's the only thing I regret about that, because I know a lot of people would like it. And it was a Klopfic with Rainbow Dash as a bio droid. And I surprisingly wrote. I even surprised myself in that fic, because it was the first time I ever wrote something like cybernetic-ish, and it wasn't even that cybernetic like Sweetie Bot was, but. I can't publish it, so yeah. I tell people, yeah. So I wrote this. If anyone wants to see it, I can only show you privately via link. So, shameless self-promotion right there. Sorry about that. But yeah, guys, did you ever regret writing something? Why? Tell us in the comments. Here,
please do.
So, 3, he says hi.
Howdy.
And finally, he says, favorite story on film fiction, complete or not? And this may be a tough question.
Everyone wants to ask the reviewer what your favorite story was. I get it, but I've read way too many of them extremely good, and honestly, it changes. You know, any given month, it could be something different. So I'm not sure. The best thing that I could possibly say is go on to my favorites folder, the Why Haven't You Read This Yet folder, because I have all of my review stories on a bookshelf named after what the rating was. Go on there, look through it, you'll find nothing but awesome stuff. But as far as a favorite one, I could tell you one now, but I guarantee you ask me again in a month and I would tell you a different. So I can't answer that really.
No, that's a good point.
Fair enough.
I mean,
very diplomatic of you.
Yeah, seriously, it's kind of like your favorite food. It does kind of vary over time, doesn't it?
It really does.
I mean, yeah, no, I personally agree with that answer. And finally,
what the heck is that?
This is a question to, I guess, Truly Beard, and he says Mayweather or McGregor.
I'm not fond of Mayweather, so McGregor. Just saying.
He's the underdog, so McGregor it is.
Yeah.
I guess. All right, so that's the end of that. Sunbro for life. Praise it. And yes, number 1. What is your favorite video game?
Well, I used to be a big fan of Final Fantasy up until about 13.
Mm-hmm.
But, if I had to pick one, I would probably go with... I'm divided. It's either Fatal Frame 2 or Bioshock Infinite. I'm not sure which one to pick.
Okay, those are respectable ones. And by the way, as a slight digression, an important one actually, we never established a drinking word.
You guys, I'm not here for oh my god, how do you guys fuck this up? No, what the fuck are you doing with
Bullshit. We did do a drinking word. It's sitting right there on the screen. If you guys were looking, you could see it.
Oh shit.
Come on, Flamin.
PaulAsaran. There's a fucking drinking word. I'm just blind.
The reason we forgot
I also recall telling you guys that if y'all want to come up with a different one to put on there, feel free, because I don't have it, because I'm not really listening to myself talk. So
the reason we forgot is because earlier we were talking about spider penises.
That's
There you
right.
go.
Oh, well, okay. Well, fine. I'm sorry, Milk. A little bit. Not a lot, but I'm a little sorry.
Also, just to go back to the question real quick, Dead Space.
Yes.
I forgot Dead Space.
Dead Space. Now, Dead Space was a special game, I have to say.
It was. First one and the second one. Never played the third one.
Hmm. And segueing to the next question, what was your favorite boss fight?
Bayonetta 2, second fight versus Lumen Sage.
Okay, I actually haven't played Bayonetta's because I'm a degenerate, so I assume most
good.
other people will.
At some point, you need to. That's all I'll say.
Okay, cool. So there you have it. Number 3. Have you accepted Skeletor, the Master of the Universe, into your heart?
Skeletor.
Yeah.
Skeletor.
I'm sure there are plenty of people I could pick over Skeletor.
Yeah, not choosing God He-Man. I mean,
No, I'm not picking He-Man either. But I wouldn't pick Skeletor.
Fucking heretic.
I mean, the old Starscream is better than Skeletor.
Eat the pizza, He-Man. Oh shit, he's eating it.
Indeed. Oh, apparently Milk, the Barcast channel, is still saying Admiral Biscuit. So thank you to those who pointed that out to us.
Yeah, thanks viewers for noticing our yet another fuck up of ours. We appreciate that.
That's what happens when we have unlimited tap in this bar.
Well, you gotta keep lowering the bar somehow, right?
Yeah,
That's what we do.
that is our full-time job.
We don't
So-
even know who the fuck we're interviewing.
Apparently.
Wait, who are you? I thought we were just talking to some homeless man. Fuck.
Fuck.
Sunbro for Life also asks, I need to know for a friend, when is Half-Life 3 going to be released? Nah, I'm just kidding. I need to know for a friend, how many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon?
The first one, if you sell your soul right away. The second one, I'm going to guess 2 of them if you do it by 1 grain at a time. Just pile them up in one big tower.
You know, that actually would make sense. Maybe.
I'm just gonna say, if that is supposed to be a reference to a Goofy movie, I'm gonna give you a little tiny e-hug. Just saying.
It might very well be. I forgot about that.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I fucking forgot about that.
What does Max say in response? Like 3.5 or something?
The moon.
Yeah.
I think the answer was 3.5.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me back. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, somebody did the
Gosh.
fucking math. Somebody did the fucking math. It would take 46.782609 cups if you lined the grains of sugar up one after another.
Okay, so I was off by a factor of like 20 or so.
47
That's wonderful.
cups. There you have it. That's about as much sugar as in a normal can of Coke.
3,946 cups of sugar.
Okay, so that's in a normal liter of Coke. So, so number 5, you're stuck in Equine Township. What business do you start?
And belly rubbing, ear scratch spa.
All right,
Okay.
sounds
I mean,
great.
that sounds like something that everyone would get used to in life.
Indeed.
I don't know. It sounds like what they'd expect to be that version of a happy ending is you get a Q-tip.
What?
Oh.
What the fuck does what are they gonna do with a Q-tip?
Go inside.
Fucking expand
Oh,
Q-tip.
God.
Fucking okay. And number 6, we gotta ask, do you even praise, bro?
Do I even praise, bro? I praise the moon, you sun worshipping swine.
Woo!
Wow.
All right. You may just be my favorite guest yet.
Okay, don't speak for all of us, Flan. Fuck.
I know that. I am expressing my own opinion, divested from the Barcast. So,
The views expressed by Flammenwerfer during the Barcast do not reflect the Barcast as a whole.
restrictions apply, results may vary. Consult your doctor for side effects.
Do not
So-
see the Barcast if you have kidney problems or just don't.
Erectile dysfunction.
May cause
Yeah, but-
tuberculosis.
Function from us, though, I wouldn't be surprised. So sorry, guys.
Indeed, an erection that lasts for 4 hours. I mean, listening to Enigma's sonorous voice. I mean, happens. Just happens.
Yeah.
So, Mobile Sam asks, how do you feel about sweet potato fry?
They're fries. I mean, Who cares? They're potato fries. I like my regular fries nice and crispy. We can do whatever we want with potato fries if you want.
Indeed.
I have no strong opinions one way or another.
Very well. And to the rest of the cast, what do we feel about sweet potato fries?
Oh, I think they're okay. I prefer regular ones, but honestly, they're not bad.
Enigma, what do you think?
I don't like them because one day I was tricked by Carl's Jr. when they did the whole yam fries thing.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit.
Fuck ass.
Milk, what do you think about sweet potato fries? Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
I really just fucking hate them. They're terrible. I really just don't like them. It's like if I'm gonna eat something unhealthy and fried, it better be just one goddamn potato cut into fries because I fucking hate the taste of sweet potato fries. That's it.
Ravage.
They're disgusting.
I must say though, the only sweet potato fries I did like were when my sister made them homemade, and she made fresh homemade honey mustard as well. So they actually tasted incredible because the first time I ever had sweet potato fries, they were indeed lies. They tasted salty like normal fries, and then they got sweet, and I was disappointed every time, and I was sad.
Slam, do you taste salty like normal fries?
Yes.
Oh my. Okay.
You asked.
I did.
Yes. So, Tony Montana now asks, will you review a story containing dragon tits? All right, we're getting right into this.
Is it Clop?
No.
If
No,
it's not.
Well, it can.
Clop,
Well, if it's
I would-
containing dragon tits, it can.
It's not.
It can. But
The one and only rule for my review blog is that I will not review Clop.
okay.
It's not. It's rated mature, but it's not Clop.
Okay, then it's game.
Okay, which segues into the next question, which you kind of just answered. Will you review a story called Dragon Tits?
My immediate answer is that a request?
Okay. There's no reason for you to review this story. Let's get this out of the way right now. It's shit.
That has not stopped people from asking me to do it.
It's shit. It's very, very shitty, and its purpose was to be shitty and entirely to both congratulate and make fun of Enigma because Enigma likes tits on a dragon, and I think it's ridiculous. So I wrote a story about how it's ridiculous.
Indeed, and I did
Well,
a review.
I can go ahead and say that I have actually read some pretty shitty stories. In fact, I read some stories that I hated within the first paragraph that were over 300,000 words long. And yes, I finished them. So
Jesus.
All right,
so
well,
if someone requested it of me and I said yes, I'd do it, I would be screwed, and I would read the stupid thing.
pretty much just write crack fix. So I don't think you're gonna want to read that.
You're probably
So-
right.
So, in the end, if you want to read it, cool. But no, don't. You go. Prepare yourself. So,
All right.
So, next question is, what is the worst idea you have ever had the displeasure of reviewing? And the best one as well.
Okay, there was a story.
Uh-oh.
I've already known it had the most. It's not that it's the story idea that we're targeting, not the story itself. Because the story itself, once you get past the initial idea, was decent, but you have to
Okay.
get past the initial idea.
Okay,
and
so
that
then
initial
yeah.
idea is that Princess Luna felt that Celestia didn't trust her, and the moon represented everything about Luna that Celestia didn't trust in Luna's head, and therefore Luna decided to take the moon during some special event. I forget what the event was, and cast it into Tartarus. Get rid of the moon entirely as a sign that Celestia can trust her. And to make it worse, Luna was gleeful to do it. She was so happy to get rid of the moon. What the fuck is
Interesting.
this? You actually expect me to believe this shit? Now again,
Right.
once you get past that shit opening premise, the story was actually good. You have to get past that shit opening premise.
Jesus. Damn, okay. And in that case, moving on to the next part of the question, is there and what do you consider was the best idea if you have one? Because it's kind of a spin-off of the last question of your favorite story. So was there a best idea you reviewed?
Best idea. Like, that's very different from asking for a best story. Oh, That's really hard to pin down because at this point I'm sure I've reviewed hundreds of stories and I'm not sure I could pick out any one because I can't remember all of them.
Was there anyone that stuck with you and you're just like, that was fucking brilliant? Like,
brilliant? I don't know if I would call it brilliant. The story that's on my mind right now, and I don't know if you would call it a great idea because I'm sure there are plenty of people who have tried to do something similar and failed, but this guy did it right.
okay.
And it was a horror story, and it was based on the video game. It was not a crossover, but it was based on the video game Amnesia: Dark Descent.
Okay.
The story itself wasn't Amnesia. The story itself had amnesia. I think it was Amnesia to Air was the name of it. And it was, well, it was whack. Let's put it that way. The entire story was written in such a way that it really felt alien. Like and this might have just been the formatting of where the raw author was from, but whenever they were writing anything in dialogue, they didn't use quotation marks. They used dashes.
Oh, Jesus.
And that made it really hard to read, and it was actually really annoying at first. But as it went along, it really served to emphasize just how alien everything was, and it was alien. I mean, this was some crazy stuff, and I loved it from beginning to end. I mean, there were some really bad aspects to it because of the way it was written. I'm not confident that it was because the author was bad. I legitimately think the author might have been using the format from a different location. But regardless, it was just so well done as a mindfuck horror that I love the story. So now I don't know if you call that a great idea because, like I said, everyone else has tried something similar, and I think they probably have. But that one was so well done that I would call that one out just on the basis.
Interesting. Yeah, because I know for a fact that lack of quotation marks would immediately turn me off. So.
Yeah, it turned me off at first too.
Jesus. But all right. So it was a diamond in the rough. And next question. Are there any songs that you think work as a theme song for a character?
Well, let me read that one myself. Any songs that I think would work as a theme song for a character?
Yes.
So many. And it depends upon the character too. I mean, it's hard to pick out, and usually whenever I do theme songs, because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but usually whenever I finish a big story, I put a credits song, if you will. If this were a song, I'd credits, that kind of thing.
I've actually done that once or twice, and I think I'm going to do it, especially if it's a serious story, in my opinion.
I do that for a lot of my big stories, and I have a lot of big stories. But so it depends upon the character, it depends upon upon the story. There's a whole bunch of things it depends upon. You can't just randomly say this song works for this character because it might be Twilight, but depending upon which AU you're in, it could be completely different. It also depends upon where circumstances are. So you can't just I can't just say one song right now and say like Welcome to the Black Parade. Oh yeah, that's a great song. Yeah, but does it have for this character?
Right. Oh, makes sense. So it could vary, certainly. And in that case, we'll move on to, do you agree or disagree with this following statement? A non-pencil did nothing wrong.
Tread lightly.
Since just looking at the question in general, I'm going to go ahead and say agree. I don't even know what context is, but I agree.
Very well. And the verdict from a non-pencil?
Oh no, I do nothing but wrong. So
of course you know.
Paul, you chose poorly.
People seem to believe that for some reason I did nothing wrong. They're incorrect as well, but
So, and a question to pencil. How does it feel to be back?
Yo.
It feels okay. As you guys know, I'm gonna be in and out of here until the 12th. I got a guest in town. And being, absent, it may happen again next week, depending on what happens here. But I will be back to stay. I'll update the archives, I promise. I'll do more shit fix. I have recordings to do and art for people. I'm sorry.
And very well. And Enigma, are you going to write more dragon tits?
Of course. And they're going to be coupled with griffin tits.
Oh, fuck. That's right. All right, guys, prepare yourself for more degeneracy because we got Griffin and Dragon Tip coming. God damn it. So, that's that. We move on to Alex _. So, to Paul, what is your funniest anecdote?
I'm going to assume we're not loading the pony, because I honestly
just
don't
anything.
have a lot of pony anecdotes.
Yeah, anything.
I'm going to go with one from whenever I was a kid.
Okay.
I have had many instances where I have nearly been killed. Quite a few. You would be surprised. There's probably been about 24 instances where I've nearly been killed.
Jesus.
One instance that I wasn't almost killed, but I like to count it anyway because I was almost near death, was whenever I was like probably, I'm going to say 12 years old. And my parents brought me to the beach. Well, my dad brought me to the beach, and that was one of his favorite things to bring us to. And I had this black inner tube that I like to use to go swimming. And I thought one day I was going to go out as far as I could out into the ocean, just get way out there. And I did to my pleasure. Now bear in mind that I am a shitty swimmer, so I get way out there. And I turn around, and I take a look, and like the truck, my dad had this old red truck. That thing was like a dot out there. And I'm pretty proud of myself. I've gotten pretty far. Probably about time for me to go back, because even though I'm not stupid, and I decided to go ahead and just turn around and take one more look out into the big ocean, just to see, and feel proud of myself that I got out here. Okay. I turn around, and what do I see? A giant fin coming out of the water, not 5 feet behind me, aimed right at me. Yeah, it didn't take me very long to get back to shore. And when I got back to shore, my sister and my dad were laughing their asses off. They were just, they thought it was the most funniest thing ever. What are you laughing at? There's a shark right behind me. My dad had binoculars. Jeremy, that was a dolphin.
Oh.
Well, it could have gone dark because dolphins are notorious rapists.
That's true. They would have dragged you into his rape dungeon. Now tell me which would have been a worse death.
And he would have dragged you in with his opposable penis, which he would have wrapped around your ankle, and I'm not lying.
Well, that probably would have been pretty bad, but I was probably been too scared to even know what was happening to me at the time. So as far as amusing anecdotes go, that's probably as funny as you're going to get out of me. I've had plenty of other things, like a goat that had me pinned against the wall for about 2 hours.
Oh, God, what?
Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah, I was probably 8 years old, and he had me pinned with his horns and would not let go. He wasn't even doing anything. He was just standing there, but I couldn't get him off because I was just a little kid and wasn't strong enough.
God.
Oh, I fell into a fire once.
What the fuck did you do to piss off the goat?
Oh, that goat was just me, period.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just...
Their native state is pissed off.
that particular goat was named Billy Bob. We finally brought him to this one guy. Sold him. The guy we sold him to was like, "Oh yeah, don't worry. I've handled problem goats before. No big deal." About a week later, my dad called the guy and said, "So whatever happened to Billy Bob?" I sold that little bastard. He was crazy.
Jesus. Fucking Billy Bob.
Yeah, fuck Billy Bob. No one liked that goat.
So, next question. How do you know our resident Snoo?
I believe, and I don't know the exact time that it happened, but I do know that Snoo was reading one of my stories. I think it might have been Trixie versus Equestria, but I'm not sure. And sent me a PM after there, or maybe she commented a lot. I don't remember the exact circumstances. I just know that it was after reading one of my stories, possibly Trixie versus Equestria, that she started sending me, commentary. And from that, she started commenting on other stories. And the more stories she got, the more I started to recognize her. And, we just started talking on Link or whatever. Or Link. Skype.
Indeed. So, then we move on to, have you ever reviewed any stories by any of the Barcast?
I have reviewed so many stories that honestly I'm not sure. But I could find out if I wanted to, because I happen to have a spreadsheet called the author scoring guide that lists the names of everyone that I have reviewed. So if I went through there, I'd probably find something by some of you guys.
Probably not me.
I've seen one by a non-pencil.
You reviewed one of mine? Why?
I'm not sure, but I might have. I'd have to take a look.
Alrighty. So.
And now I'm going because I'm curious.
Okay, so the verdict will be, has he reviewed anyone in the Barcast? So let's find out on this next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
I actually do not have a non-pencil on here. No, I do not.
Good, good. That is a smart decision. You should keep it that way.
Your list will become unclean.
Enigmatic. No, I do not have anything by Enigmatic.
Aw.
Apparently, you have reviewed Snoo.
I have reviewed Snoo. I have not reviewed Flan. And I don't even have to look for Snoo. I know I've reviewed her.
Oh.
Milk. No. Hey, who are you people?
Oh, I know one you probably reviewed because he has enough stories for. What about Flutter Priest?
Flutter Priest is on there.
Told you.
Adopting Fluttershy.
Oh, God. Okay.
I gave it a worth it, which is my middle ground area.
That's very kind of you.
And I'm sure Flutter Priest would love to hear that, and we will relay
I'm
that.
sure he will when he watches this later. Oh, I'm ready for the next question. I'm excited for the next question. Flame, ask the next question.
Okay, let's do. Would you rather be suffocated to death with a slab of rancid meat writhing with maggots, or be raped but survive by a giant scorpion?
I think I have to flip a coin on that one.
Pencil, you're an expert on animal genitalia. What does a scorpion dick look like?
That's not really how it works. Okay, so because a scorpion is basically a...
Nothing. Go on. That's great. Go on.
Is, an insect. It doesn't exactly have a penis the way other things do. And they don't breed the way that, say, you or I do. So scorpion probably would involve some form of ovipositing, honestly.
Makes sense.
Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'd rather do the suffocated to death thing, because if they're suffocating me, I'm going to be more about the fact that I can't breathe than the fact that what it is that's making it so that I can't breathe. So, since I am going to die anyway, I'm not going to get out of it to realize the real situation. So.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, it's a logical answer in my opinion. So let's see. Yes. Kill, fuck, marry. A woman with fleshlights for arms and legs, a woman with 3 vaginas, and a conscious human head in a glass case.
I would probably kill fleshlights.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and fuck the 3 vaginas. Marry the head. At least the head might be able to give me some interesting information.
That implies a woman with 3 vaginas apparently is like just a fucking retard or something, because I mean, how do you know she's not like an astrophysicist or something and she just happens to have 3 vaginas?
Yeah, I've not been giving any context to this here, so I just have to throw my answers out into the wind.
Yeah, I mean, and hey, you get a choice of vagina.
I'm not going to fuck a conscious head in a glass case. I'm just not going to do it.
Different route. I would fuck the woman with fleshlights for arms and legs because, you got a lot of holes to try out there. I would kill the conscious head because that's a sad existence.
I mean,
I would marry the one with 3 vaginas because 3 of those for life that way. Come on, man.
Pencil, you as a woman, what do you do with fleshlights?
You know that they have a long end, right? Besides the opening, if you turn them over, they're just kind of this long. Have you ever seen a fleshlight?
You get out a little bit, but yes, I've seen them on the internet. Not in person.
So you do know that they are, they have a long back to them, made of fleshy stuff, which could easily be inserted into a part of the body.
Hold on now. If the woman has fleshlights for arms and legs, wouldn't that immediately indicate that part that you're talking about is actually part of her body and therefore cannot be used in that way?
No, I assumed that the fleshlight holders are on her arms and legs, and then the fleshlight is inserted into them because that's how a fleshlight is held in place. So I would assume that.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, there you have it. You've heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. And to a non-pencil, We've missed you these last few weeks, Pencil. Did you miss us?
No.
Yeah, you know what? I missed you, stupid motherfuckers. I really did. You guys make me feel intelligent and worldly when it comes to the ways of sex, and it gives me slow amounts of faith in humanity that you guys are actually learning something you may be able to use should, God forbid, one of you find a way to procreate. So there you go.
Including me?
No, you're never going to procreate, so why would that apply to you?
There we go, guys. We've missed you too, Pencil.
God damn it.
So, RB-47 asks, which of your stories are you most proud of? Which of your stories do you think best epitomizes your work?
Most proud of is definitely Twilight's Inferno. I consider it my dark horror masterpiece.
All right.
Epitomizes my work? Hold on 1 second. Let's take a look at that list real quick. If I had to pick one specifically, I would probably go with the Gentle Knight's Audience of One, which is the Octavia Luna one, actually.
Ah. All right. So
I'd probably go with that.
There's a story, guys. It'll be featured on the cast. Read it.
Yep. I will put it there right now.
Yes.
Make sure it's Audience of One and not the first one. The first one's crap.
Oh.
Oh, you probably, now that I've said that, you're probably going to put both up there.
You know Pencil very well.
I'm learning.
I'll add Audience of One. Don't worry.
So, next we got questions from Snowy B, also known as Snoo. Paul Senpai, what inspires you to write? Is it your own genius?
Genius. Sure, let's go with that.
Very well.
Actually, but in truth, what really inspires me to write is the knowledge I have tons and tons and tons of stories in my head, and I'm getting new ones roughly once a week at least. And I am going to die before I get everything out there. So what inspires me to write? The knowledge that I've got too much shit to release, and I have to do it before I die.
It's actually a pretty good motivator, to be honest.
It sounds like a euphemism for taking a shit.
You sound like a euphemism for taking a shit every time you speak, Enigma.
Woo!
Okay.
Burn. So, do you like to write strange ideas normally or normal ideas strangely?
Both.
Both. There we go. When will Trixie fight the multiverse?
That is spoilers. But Trixie versus Equestria 2.
All right.
And by the way, that's not an offhand answer. I actually planned.
So, it's number 2 in the list, Electric Boogaloo. Read it. So, can Snoo have your autograph and NMND, and will you go?
Snoo, I don't know that you need my autograph, considering that we've been chatting all the time. You can probably just take anything that I've said to you and like print it out, and there you go. But if we met, yes. If we met in real life, I would give you my autograph. It'd be a friend.
Aww.
As far as an MND, someday, yes, I will go.
Not someday. This is their last year.
Oh, is it? Well, then, nope, I'm screwed. Never mind. I was planning to go. I had been planning on it for about 3 months, and the IRS hit me with a $1,200 tax bill. Jesus. And that ended all of my chances for going.
Oh, goddamn.
Yep. Thank you, IRS.
Indeed. IRS ruining shit. All right. Are my friends here weird?
Yeah, so?
I like it. Am I weird?
Yeah, so?
Top 3 novels.
Novels?
Yes.
Yeah.
Heck, I don't know. Are we talking about Pony? Are we talking about everything? I don't know.
Anything. Any novels.
I'm going to give that the same answer I gave to the best, story I've ever reviewed. I mean, I can't really answer the question because it changes every month. And I've read so many.
Okay, then. Top 3 video games.
Well, I've already mentioned Dead Space and games like that there. Bayonetta 2 is definitely high on the list.
Hmm.
Let's see. I already said Fatal Frame 2, so I've already named more than 3.
All right. And final question: who'd win in a fight, Laguna or Lightning Dust?
Okay, I'm assuming we're talking about Final Fantasy VIII Laguna. If not, I apologize. But if that is the case, then yeah, Lightning Dust will kick his ass.
And there you have it. Famous last words. He asks. Well, yeah, he asks, what is your favorite 90s jam? And why should it be What's My Age Again by Blink 182?
Well, considering that is a ridiculously annoying song, still extremely catchy, but it's definitely not the 90s jam that I would pick if I had to pick it.
Yeah, fuck you, Famous.
Well, let's see here. If I had to pick one, hold on 1 second. Make sure this is actually a 90s jam before I confuse myself and make myself a great embarrassment. Nope, it is not. Therefore, I cannot pick it. Never mind. So yeah, I don't particularly think I can't really think of a particular 90s jam that I would say is my favorite, largely because I wasn't paying attention in the 90s. So I don't know.
Well,
there was a lot of bad and there was a lot of good stuff going out, but I mostly remember that there was a lot of bad stuff. So
yeah, I guess we could default to like All Star or something.
Spice Girls Wannabe.
What was that?
Yeah.
Spice Girls Wannabe. If we're gonna be talking about like shit 90s jams, there you go.
That wasn't my favorite Spice Girls one. I had a number of Spice Girls ones out that were shitty, but I still liked. Wannabe is just the one that was the most popular.
Alrighty then. So Deshloon asks, if you could, what would you?
No, if I could, would you?
Yeah,
yes.
That's the question.
Yeah. If I could, would I? Sure.
Cool. Sure it is. And he asks, is this a question?
Yes.
No, that's not the question. Read it again, Flam.
Oh shit, I have Lysdexia. So this is a question.
Yeah, I you got the question mark on there, so I don't think it's grammatically correct, but hey, still I'll say yes.
Yeah, technically there it is. All right, so we have questions with a Vylon pencil.
It's time for questions with Vylon.
All right.
Got a cold.
One of the great highlights of this Barcast. So strap in, motherfuckers. Let's do this. So Vylon asks first, how do you write suffering so well?
We've already touched upon this, but as we're going into it, and I'm guessing I would have to go into. We've already talked about getting the emotion to come out, and if you don't cry at it, you're not really doing it right. So there's all those things, but generally speaking, you can't really do suffering until the audience has gotten to like the character.
That's actually a very good point.
Like if you're like, let's take any sort of bad flash fic that comes around. There's so many of them, and they just show all sorts of characters getting destroyed and slaughtered. Okay, fine. So it's slash porn, whatever. I don't feel bad about any of it because I don't care about any of it because no one bothered to write it properly. So now there was a Cheerlead's Garden, which was actually, despite being slaughter porn, was actually well written, but it was still just slaughter porn, so I didn't care. Now that I think that would be two things that I would primarily say. Number one, make your characters likable, so people have to like the characters to care about them. And two, don't write slaughter porn, because as soon as you realize that it's porn, no one's gonna care.
Well, there you have it, everyone. Because it is that easy. Sometimes make your characters likable. Do it.
Yeah. Of course, it's that easy. Why would I say otherwise?
Yeah, just do it.
No, that's actually an entirely different argument. I don't know if we can actually get into.
Oh yeah, that'll easily take another at least 2 hours to discuss how to make your characters likable. There's a panel idea at a con. There you go.
Yes,
So
it
many
is.
panel ideas, Jesus.
Indeed. Nextly, what do you think of all the other kids with the pumped up kicks?
They better run faster than my gun.
God damn it.
I agree. So
I have so many of them to choose from.
Now, Would you rather take a horse cock through your nostrils or a steel brush through your pee hole?
And well, given that the horse cock in my nostrils will probably kill me, I'll probably go with that one because it'll be faster.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That
Literally the
went a
worst
little
way of-
differently than I expected, but I love that.
Literally, the worst way of
Alright.
killing yourself is always an option on the Barcast.
Yes, that is right. Killing yourself is always the option.
I mean, the obvious option is either, but I'm
And
not
it
going
may be-
to that. So.
And it may be the only option because here at the Barcast, you don't have to go home, but you motherfuckers can't stay here. So,
It's true. Don't actually kill yourself, though, guys.
yeah,
Please.
seriously.
Please
That's all.
don't.
Indeed. So, I'll read this normally because there's no accent request right now. But
Please do. I'm looking over it.
So, read it normally. I'm reading it normally. So,
Yep.
you are fucking your to-be-born daughter during your wife's breech birth, and you have to finish before the baby completely comes out.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, your daughter is too tight and forces her to move along with you, giving you no friction and only rubs your daughter against your wife. Would you rather push her back into your wife and hold her there so you can come into two vaginas at the same time, or just completely pull her out and make her a better cock sleeve?
Oh my god.
Wow, Vylon has outdone herself. That was one of the worst ones I have ever heard.
I am going to go with number one.
And
Number
remember,
one.
killing yourself is always an option.
Oh my god, Vylon, as I said many times before, I owe you a drink.
and in the immortal words of Crystal Wishes, Vylon, who hurt you?
This is a safe space, Vylon. You can talk.
Just Vylon, just bravo. Bravo.
So, coming to two vaginas, you heard it here. And finally, she asks, wet panties?
Yeah.
Cool. Wet panties all around. All right. Questions from Horizon. Awesome. So, what is the most important thing you've learned about writing fanfic reviews?
The most important thing that I have learned is that no matter what I think and no matter what I say, they're my views, also known as opinions. So people are going to disagree with me. And there are going to be plenty of people who get on there and they're going to get mad and they're going to say that, oh, I'm not looking at this aspect and that aspect. So I'm not perfect. I'm not going to catch everything. And I don't care about things that you care about. So I apologize for that. But in the end, I can only do what I see. And what I see is probably not going to be what you see.
Indeed. And you, from what I've seen also, you also have to overcome the kind of perception of pretentiousness when you review things or make it actually kind of your job, as it were.
Yeah, well, my fundamental rule when reviewing is try and be as fair as possible. So
yeah, because there are a couple out there that kind of carry their opinions as like the will of God. And
yeah, and it's hard to get past the bias, and sometimes I will actually in the review outright state, yeah, I'm biased towards this. I can't help it. But
at least you get that out of the way first. Just like, so bias incoming, but here you go.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've got to say it. So
No, there you go. It's a very level-headed way to do it. I like it. So, how do you avoid burnout with such a strict and ambitious schedule?
that's a good question. Whenever I was first doing it, I didn't avoid burnout. I didn't realize I was burning out until someone dragged me away from the computer and made me do something entirely different for a few days. But eventually, I came to learn that yes, burnout is a thing, and I can actually get that from reading pony horse words. So I input into my schedule now mandatory every, I think it's 7 weeks. I have a half week where I only read half as much and don't put a review blog out. And every 9 weeks overlapping, I have a vacation week where I don't read anything pony. Period. I just completely take a vacation from it.
God damn.
So this is all set up and arranged to make sure that regularly I get my break so that I don't burn out.
Good.
Now that
Be
doesn't,
smart
now
about
that doesn't really excuse that I'm reading sometimes 10, on average, I'm reading between 210,000 words a week. So
Fuck. God damn. But yeah, great advice there, guys. Take fucking breaks. It's like working out.
If you have to, make yourself do it, which I had to.
Exactly. You don't work out 7 days a week. Don't do your normal shit every day. Just don't.
Get a different hobby if you have to.
Exactly. Next question, and final question from Horizon. Which pony princess do you secretly wish someone would write a steamy hot fic about, and what bizarre kink would it involve?
Well, I don't have to secretly wish someone would write a steamy hot fic about any princess, because every single one of them has, I'm sure, thousands, if not millions of them.
Yeah.
It's true.
And now, since we're talking about the bizarre kinks and that kind of thing, I've got to go ahead and acknowledge that as much brainwashing scares the shit out of me. But because it scares the shit out of me, it's also a kink.
Oh, so it's like a fear boner.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Oh,
Fear
God.
boner for brainwashing. Wow.
This is fucking terrible. She's getting indoctrinated and continue.
No, not that kind of brainwashing. Not that.
Oh, like actual mind control. So
yes, actual mind control. You don't have any choice in the matter, and even if you did, we're not going to let you have it.
He's making her sloppy.
Yeah. Hypnosis, mind control, manipulation, etc. Correct?
That shit scares the hell out of me. In fact, I consider it to be evil by default. So, which always annoys me, because sometimes I'll see a story and people will write it, and the great solution that the hero comes up with is to just mind control a bunch of people and say that it's good. No, you just made your heroes evil.
So your comment on the story would be like, "This is fucking terrible. It's a terrible premise. Good Lord, why would you ever think this is a good idea?" Keep going.
No.
Looking forward to chapter 2.
No, not quite. Now I have said that yes, the whole brainwashing thing is evil. I will always point that out. Yes, brainwashing is evil, and I do not condone it, even by the good guys. But I have seen plenty of stories that use it, and as far as contextually in the story, it's okay.
So hold on. So then the introductory episodes to Discord are your kink?
Lol.
Wait, introductory episode of Discord. Yeah, but by the fact that he brainwashed Fluttershy, for example, yeah, automatically. Evil.
What about
no redemption? Evil.
He brainwashed all of them, though.
Yeah, but he had, well, yes, but actually, when you look at all of them, he actually kind of convinced them into doing it. Kind of showed them alternatives, and they kind of had to make a semi-conscious decision to do it. Well, with Fluttershy, he couldn't do that to her. She was immune because she was just too nice for him to do it, so he did it by force.
That's actually true. Fuck, that's right.
But what about Reform Starlight?
Or fucking Fluttershy is your kink and your fear. Nice.
What about Reform Starlight when she forced everyone into doing stuff?
That was definitely evil, but it's one of those things where she doesn't understand that it's evil. She hasn't kind of figured out the whole morality, motivation, proper behavior whenever it comes to mind control, which there is no proper behavior when it comes to mind control. But she hasn't figured this out yet. She's still dancing on that evil edge and doesn't realize what she's doing is bad.
Oh, well, since you brought that up, kind of a tangent of it, what about the episode where oh shit, you're not that far, are you?
Nah.
I don't know. I haven't seen
spoilers.
Starlight,
but I've seen everything else. So.
Celestia and Luna. I was gonna suggest that one.
Don't think
I know about it. I haven't seen it, so. And
never mind.
If you're worried about spoilers, don't be. Go ahead and hit me.
Alrighty, then with that, we shall move on to the Abyss, who asks, "Who would you want to snuggle the most and why?"
Well, the default answer that most people would expect would be Luna because she is the best pony, but actually, I think I'd have to go with Octavia.
Oh, I can agree with that.
So refined
about to say, get behind
by
that.
the
You were about
fire
to
with
say
a
get-
glass of wine.
Shut the fuck up, Pencil.
You were about to say, get behind that again. You were about to make that same fucking joke again, weren't you, Flam?
No.
Get wrecked, you
Bullshit.
weirdo.
So Paul, you just want to snuggle up with a ball of fur that smells like French vanilla.
I liked the refined ladies. Okay.
Indeed.
Well, it depends on which
And
story
that-
you're talking
I
about.
like it refined, and generally more powerful for me helps too, and that'd be a more of a Luna thing. But
I like my refined mares the way I like my coffee, without a penis.
Yeah, if you got a cup of coffee, like, waiter, there's a penis in my coffee. There's a problem.
Waiter, there is a penis in my soup.
Oh, then
Yeah,
put
that'll
your
be
dick
yeah,
out
that'll
of the
be
bowl.
that'll be $5
Well,
extra.
Well,
Okay.
hey, if you're in China, penis soup, I'm sure exists. So
Actually, they make booze with it. I've written about it. It's horrifying, and it's Anyway,
Sweet.
Okay.
All right. We have half an hour left, so we gotta get a little quicker with these questions. So we move on to Chat Penguin Lips.
Oh.
Which
lengthwise,
is
we're doing fine. We're doing fine.
yeah. Okay. So number one, this is kind of a story one. Number one, you're homeless and you're poor. You're walking alongside a highway, and you have a bunch of baby ducks in a cage. While walking, a Prius pulls ahead of you. A man emerges from the Prius and walks up to you. He lights a cigarette, puffs the smoke in your face, causing you to cough, and all the little ducklings too adorably achoo and whimper after you. The man says to you he'll give you $5,000 cash under one condition. You must release the baby ducks in the median dividing the two highways, or in other words, trapping them between the highways, giving them no choice but to cross the dangerous and most likely deadly highway. You cast a glance down at the ducks as the sleazebag digs into his pocket for his wallet. They all stare at you with their glossed, beady eyes and chirp softly, just loud enough for you to hear their ducky cries. One of them even waddles across the cage, wings wide, and presses itself up against the cage as if to give you a hug. You look back at the man who's holding 5 stacks of crisp $100 bills. He fires a shameless grin. So, what do you say? He asks. Do you either A, take his money and release the ducks, certainly sealing at the minimum half their fates, or B, kick him in the stones, spit on him, and walk away with your ducks intact, but you can't take the money?
Intact. Eh?
Intact,
Well, I
yeah.
definitely don't want to go around killing baby ducks, even though I've heard they make great bait for bass. But no, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I think I will be taking the ducks away from Mr. Evil Asshole and maybe shoving him into the road.
am I the only one that noticed that he said he'd give you 5,000 and only pulled out 500?
What a fuck! Trying to chip us?
Actually, no. He said that he had 5 stacks of $100 bills. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's $500.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, but still, if I were to take the deal, which I'm not, if I were to take the deal, I would want to make sure that actually was $5,000 before I did it.
Right. I mean, $5,000 is $5,000.
But still, I was raised on a farm. I've been around plenty of little baby animals. I'm afraid I probably wouldn't be able to kill those ducks. So.
All right.
Now, but bear in mind, I have already spoken to Penguin about this, actually, and he believes that I'm evil anyway, because a few comments there about, using ducks for bait.
Well, here's another
ducks
option.
for bait.
Yeah, I hear they're good for bass, but I would use them for garfish if I had to.
Well, now I'm kind of curious, because you have 2 other options. You can either A, kill yourself, which is always our option, and we have a 3rd option. If you're able to kick him in the balls, spit in his face, and walk away, why can't you grab the money at the same time?
Because
That's a good
morality. Morality.
Why would you do that?
Well, that was also the stipulation.
One of those types that would grip it in his chest hands, and you'd have to cut his hand off, and then I don't have any means of cut. Well, actually, no, I do. There's a highway right there. Let's just put his arm down the road. So
there you go.
The money spontaneously combusts for some reason because
Yeah,
magic
just-
don't explain shit.
Yeah, there you go. It's just a stipulation of the coin.
Oh God, it's the silver axe versus the golden axe. Fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, number 2. Would you rather be a highly touted writer or reviewer? You're both relatively speaking, but to say one completely outdoes the other, which would you rather be known for?
well, I'd probably have to go with writer. Even though the reviewing tends to be more strict on my overall time, because it takes a lot to read, 210,000 words a week. But still, even though that's true, if I had to pick between writing and reviewing, I'd probably quit reviewing if it meant that my success as a writer would go up by some bounds because of it.
Okay. It's true. I mean, I guess no one really, aside from a few select examples, no one, I guess, remembers like the famous critics, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like,
I
So
know
that
I'm
you'd run
funny.
out of
Although that'd be
material
a fun-
eventually.
All right. So, number 3. How do you feel about being in the quote unquote review community? What other reviewers do you like? Are there any aspects of the reviewer community as a whole that you dislike?
As far as being in the review community, I'm rather pleased with it, just by being a reviewer. It's kind of like half of my notoriety right there, if you can call it notoriety. But as far as what other reviewers do I like, I do have Present Perfect. I look at his stuff a whole lot. Every now and again, I'll go over to Titanium Dragon, read his reviews whenever they happen. But generally speaking, and this is probably going to sound terrible, I actually don't go around looking for other people's reviews that much. So I mostly stick to my own for the most part.
Okay.
And if I see someone reviewing something that I'm actually interested in, okay, I'll go over it. But generally speaking, I don't read a lot of other people's reviews, which is probably a shame, and I probably should be ashamed of myself. But
no, makes sense. I mean, I'm a writer, and I don't read nearly as much as I should anymore.
yeah.
So
that was actually another reason that I got into reviews, to make me read.
that's great. That's great. Shit, I should probably. Yeah, you just reminded me. I'm a piece of shit for not reading more, anyways. So I need to do that. So, god damn it. So,
And what else was there? Are there any
any-
aspects of the review community
Yeah.
as a whole that I dislike? Well, since I'm not all that deep into the review community, I can't say for certain. So,
okay. So anything that you may have seen, like caught a glance of, or
well, one of the things, as I've already mentioned, one of my things for reviewers that I'm trying to be as fair as possible. And I would like to see that in other people too, because I think that's important. I think that's very important for quality review. And I'm not so sure that it's as common as I would like it to be. Now, I can't say that for confidence, because again, I'm not exactly going out reading everybody else's reviews. But from what I've seen, there doesn't seem to be much of interest for people to say, hey, this is my bias. And that this is why you need to look at this as subjective. I don't see a lot of that. Most of the stuff I see is, yeah, this is crap, and this is why.
that's actually a very good way to look at things, in my opinion. I happen to agree with you because it applies to all reviews, in my opinion. I'm heavily a techie guy. I love technology, and if I want to buy something new, I always look for reviews on YouTube. And there's only a couple reviewers that will ultimately say, oh, they'll start off the review with, here's the things that I don't like right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then they'll spend the rest of the time going at what they do like and their take on it. But they immediately remove their bias. They explain what they don't like and why they don't like. And I think that's a very, very respectable way to do it.
Yeah. And it's important to make sure that you let people know, hey, the reason that I don't like it because of this, and even though I don't like it because of this, that's not something that you should take to the bank because it's just my opinion. You have to make sure they are aware of that. If you want your review to be actually a decent one.
Indeed. No. Makes sense to me. So, number 4. How does it feel being so close to 1,000 followers, or having hit 1,000 if you have yet?
Well, I've been stuck at around 980 for probably 6, 7, 8 months now. For some reason, I could not go up above that 980, and now I'm at 991, I think, with my new story that just came out right before this cast. So,
hold on.
Uh-oh.
You know what that means? It's time for, ladies and gentlemen who follow the Barcast, it is time for me to start chilling. You've heard it here first. We need 9 of you to volunteer and get Paul to 1,000 right now, right here during the cast. Fucking do it. I've seen the ridiculous power you guys wield. You guys do wield like
now I'm going to lose 18 of them just because of this.
There you
Beg
go.
of you, make it happen today. I implore you, and I have faith in you, and also you fucking scare me, you fucking people.
Seriously.
Folks,
Paul, expect some results very soon.
Very soon.
Okay.
Need 4 more. 4 fucking more, guys. Come on, do it.
We're
But
not
yeah,
joking
1,000
either.
finally hitting that nice 000 number will be nice.
Oh, indeed it does.
Two
Then
more.
after that, it's just like whatever. But yeah, 1,000 is
I
a
would
nice.
feel like
is a
whatever
nice-
at 500s, but still, milestones are milestones.
Right. So, number
You
5.
guys.
Lord AI 90 has come to you and said, Paul, I need you. Before he finishes, what would you assume he needs you for?
Organization. Period.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
mean, what else could I possibly expect him to need me for? My organization skills are speaking for themselves, I think.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
happened. You're at 1,000.
There you go. Confirm.
Shit, yes, thank you.
Not
right.
a problem. Take the Barcast viewers.
Man,
Yes.
that took a lot. That went a lot faster than I thought it would.
You don't
There you
understand.
go.
They
And
are
now-
really amazing.
All right,
Seriously.
I guess from now on, I have to mention the Barcast every time I do a vlog or something because now thank you.
Sure thing, then. Number 6, and final question from chat. Who's got the best cutie mark design in the show? If you say anyone other than Gabby, you're wrong.
Wow.
God damn it, Chapped.
Well, considering I don't actually bother to check cutie marks for being cute, or being best in general, hard to say on that one. I'll go ahead and say Gabby because I really don't have opinions.
Okay.
But I like being right.
There you go. So we'll be skipping this one question because of reasons.
Yep,
And
although
we'll
I might just go ahead and put it out there. I might answer it in a PM just to go ahead and satisfy Spitfire. So
There you go. So Snuffy asks, is it hard to jump between writing mature dark stories and E-rated slice of life fics? And does the one genre ever leak into the other while you write?
is it hard? No, not at all. It's like changing a shirt.
Okay.
At least for me. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be easy for everybody else.
Right, your mileage may vary.
I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm kind of used to going back and forth. So, as far as genres leaking into one another, yes, that definitely happens. In fact, that happens all the time, and sometimes you have to really watch out.
Right. Is it ever like severe, like, oh, Pinky was just having a nice day in the park, and why are there dead people?
No, I've never had that. If I'm writing something that is an E-rated slice of life fic, you're not going to see any dead bodies. Now, I do like my dark, so sometimes I might slip in something a little bit darker too in a story, like there might be mention of a death or something like that. But as far as things going way out of whack, in one direction when they're not supposed to, no, I've never done that. Now I have had plenty of fics that were extremely dark that just been a chapter in light gentle territory, but that's not so bad.
Okay. Alrighty. So that was his only question. So we'll move on to Brian Fiction. And he asks, all right, I have a small list of questions. So what is your favorite song from the show and song from the fandom thus far with how much you watched?
Song from the fandom. I can't really say any songs from the fandom. I'm not paying attention to the particular area of the fandom at all.
Okay.
If a song from the fandom pops up, I don't know about it until someone informs me. Now that being said, what was the one with Luna where she was taking the kids away?
Oh, that fandom song. Fucking yeah.
Come Little Children.
Yeah, children. Wasn't it Children of the Night?
Children of the Night, but it immediately struck a chord with me because I remember Hocus Pocus.
Yep.
I was like, yes, yes.
Yes. It's a great reference to that.
I loved that video. Of course, I also loved the one with Luna, the recent one, big hit. What was that video about how Luna got banished?
Oh yeah, what? Lullaby for a
Princess. So I like those. But again, those are mainstream things that you kind of, if you're in the fandom, you can't miss them.
Yeah,
so,
they just kind of appear. They appear.
Yes. So whenever it comes to general music by the fandom, I don't really have something that I can pick out. Now, if we're talking about a general song from the show, I'd probably go with the Pet song, actually.
Okay.
I love the Pet song.
Okay. I don't hate that song, so I'll be like, cool, yeah, that's a strictly middle of the road one, in my opinion.
I prefer Art of the Dress.
That is a good one. Yes, I will not deny.
Hmm.
Oh wait, but I should also say that Becoming Popular is really high on the list too. Which now would be my time to mention that Rarity is my favorite.
Okay. So, in that case, who is your? Let's see. So yeah, these are kind of a couple of these are questions
Very
we may or may
generic.
not have covered. So yeah, we'll just feel free to skip them if you feel we've covered them already. So who's your favorite non-pony?
Yeah, we haven't covered that one. And I
Okay.
don't really have a favorite non-pony, but if I had to pick one of them, just because he amuses me whenever I see him, I would say Gustave Legrand.
Who again? I'm sorry.
Gustave Legrand.
Ah.
Oh,
That guy
the
who
chef
wants to-
dude.
What? Yeah, the guy with the
Yeah.
mustache.
Oh yeah. With his
So ridiculous. I particularly love his little twirling his mustache in the black and white version while Pinky's getting run over by a train.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about him. Shit, that's right. So, all right. What's your opinion on changelings? Of changelings.
Season 2 Changelings?
Yes.
Scared the crap out of me. In fact, I have a headcanon that I have used in my stories where those pods that they put Celestia and the other ponies in, in my headcanon, they use those things to turn ponies into changelings. Talking physical, mind warp, whole shebang. Scares the shit out of me. So original changelings, yeah, I'm not that crazy about them except as villains. Now,
Okay,
new changelings, I don't have much of an opinion yet, but I've only seen the end of season 6. I haven't seen how they're being treated in season 7, so I'm going to reserve judgment on them.
fair enough. And
I do think they're a bit too shiny.
does the mind warp one give you an enormous fear bone?
Say what?
Do the mind warped ones give you an enormous fear bone?
Not really, no. They're because we're talking about physical change as well as mental change. That's more of a holy shit, that's creepy than a fear bone.
Okay, fair enough. And yes, a very important question. Again, political. What is your opinion of Spike?
I have nothing against Spike whatsoever. Now, I do think that the show treats him terribly. Like, yeah, they can't keep him consistent, but that's the show. It's just how it is. But I have nothing against Spike in general. If anything, whenever I read a story that Spike should be involved in, but he's not, I kind of get mad at the author because, hey, you forgot an important character in this story. But as far as Spike in general, I'm not really for or against.
Okay. So, Pencil, what was your take on his opinion of that?
Well, yet again, I'm just gonna be nice and play nice today and not. Enigma.
Well, thank you. I appreciate my time.
Enigma, say
Yes.
something stupid so I can take out my anger on somebody.
I think Flame, didn't I call mountains the breasts of the earth?
Yes, you did.
What?
You call mountains there's cleavage. Yes, I remember this.
Fucking you! Ah, God, you're such the shittiest thing. I fucking hate you in every word you say. And why are you human? You give people like me a bad name just by existing. Okay, I feel better now. Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm glad you feel better about it.
And then we move on. What's your opinion of Nerdy Heart?
Given that picture and everything, I'm actually entirely approving of this.
It's interesting. I've only ever seen either Nerdy Heart or fucking Gothic Heart. Like
I've not seen.
Yeah,
Nerdy
I like Nerd. Nerd is because their father's a huge weeb.
that makes sense.
Yeah, he definitely is. Sounds like a beach bum.
Yeah. And then he asked, what is your opinion of the Barcast?
It's been interesting so far. Let's just leave it at that.
Yay, we're interesting.
Awesome.
You are definitely interesting.
That is the most we could have ever hoped for.
And frankly, I wouldn't mind doing it again sometime.
Huzzah. All right. Well, we still have time to ruin your experience. Yeah, so we can only hope. And finally, would you recommend watching MLP to those who don't?
I want to say yes, because I like MLP, even all the bad about it. But at the same time, just because I recommend it and I like it doesn't mean you're going to like it. So it would depend upon who I'm talking to and how well I. But right now, just in a general overall sense, I would say
You'd say what? You kind of cut out. I'm sorry.
yes. In a general sense, I would say yes.
Alrighty then.
I'm sure there are plenty of people that would hate me for doing it to them, but
All right.
You know,
So,
I've noticed that the same way bronies get non-bronies to watch the shows is use the same tactics that drug dealers use. Here's a free sample.
Done.
You're gonna like it.
And you'll never be able to put it down.
honestly, that's kind of what happened to me in some respect, but more on that later. So, cyberphase on God.
I was watching my brother watch it, and I saw a little bit of it, and I'm like, "Hey, man, pass that over."
Yeah, take. Give me that reefer, boy.
I learned it from you, Dad.
Watching when Dad was binging on Gen 1. Yeah. So Cyberface on God DM asked, a little late, but I'm doing this quick. But at first, what the fuck, man? Whose idea was it to add this worthless otaku who possibly likes fucking dragon tits in his sleep? Great, now I sound like you. Holy fuck, I need to kill some normies on GTA Online. Fucking normies!
That's a good read.
Point where I as a reviewer criticize you for using all caps so much.
Okay, I'm done with the screaming. Let's move on. All right. Guess questions. Would you thing pwn?
Sure.
This is a thing pwn, just so you know what it looks like.
Okay, whenever it loads, give it a second. My internet connection is not exactly doing stellar right now, given Harvey right outside my
There you
window.
go.
Would you a thing pwn?
No, although that would make great story material.
There
Definitely.
you go.
Slice of life, am I right?
Absolutely.
So, which two food ponies would you go on a double dinner date?
Food pony?
Mm.
Okay,
Hold on, let me get the pony.
So, allow Pencil to grab some food
Yes,
ponies.
and it's amazing. Let me get you a picture of Pizza Pony and Coke Pony together. And I ship them.
I'm curious.
I ship them the hardest.
Actually, I think I might have seen Coke Pony.
No, these.
Yeah, yes, I've seen Coke Pony then.
Look at Pizza Pony.
I'm looking at Pizza Pony. Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and say this, that this is a general statement about pizza, not Pizza Pony, but pizza is like sex. Whenever it's good, it's really good. Whenever it's bad, it's still kind of good. And from that perspective, I'd probably be perfectly willing to go and have a date with Pizza Pony.
Yes, good man.
All right. Great
But
explanation.
would you
As for Coke Pony, I'm more of a sun-kissed person, so sorry.
You fucking monster.
But would you still accept Pizza Pone if she was sloppy seconds?
Probably so. Probably so. I remember what I said. But even whenever it's bad, it's still kind of good.
Well, yeah, it's like reheated pizza too. I mean, it is technically sloppy seconds, so it's still fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but be careful how you word sloppy seconds with food, because that also kind of comes along with upchuck. So
Yeah.
I
No.
guess.
Word puns, Ravage. Word puns.
I know.
All right. So,
Well,
which
you said pizza and then sloppy seconds, and then the next thing that came into mind was bleh.
So, 3 we kind of touched on, I guess, in that respect. But which food pony would you take a taste out of curiosity?
If you're going on a dinner date, there's always a possibility of getting a taste out of them anyway. So,
yeah, that's true. So, all right. What 3 items, applications, or browsers would you ponify? And what would you do with it? Note it will only last for a week and a half. An example is Firefox Pony, Discord app Pony, not Discord himself, and Lantern Pony.
Well, first I would have to have some sort of Steam Pony, as in the gaming system program Steam.
And
there's a Steam Pony.
And she'd be a drug dealer, right?
Well, actually, no. I was going to have her so that I can go around and play video games with her.
No.
With her,
No.
But then she'd try to sell you them for cheap and drain your wallet constantly.
No, she wouldn't do that. She'd promise you Half-Life 3 and deliver nothing.
That's true.
She
Constantly, you fuck me, yeah.
Also,
She
Twitter. Here you go. You need to see this picture, and I'll post it in the chat too.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
She'd
Moving on to the next
constantly be
question.
praising Gabe Newman. She'd constantly be praising Gabe as well.
I love
We
that picture.
need to finish some questions though, guys. We're running real low on time, so let's go to the next one.
Yeah, let's go.
Indeed, we are. So we'll start rapid firing these. So we covered who is best princess.
Yep.
Who likes to blow up shit online? I mean, so I'm down with blowing up shit online. Yeah. So
I'm okay with it, I guess.
okay. So like we may or may not have covered this, but what is your best ship for Luna?
Yeah, we've covered this. OTP, Luna, Octavia.
Luna Tavi. All right.
Luna Tavia.
Luna.
That's a nice name.
Alrighty. So Barcast questions. Anon Pencil. What is your anecdote from the last convention?
Real quick, I was dressed as a nurse, and I had a little girl come and call me Dr. Pony and want to take a picture, and she sat down on my mom took a picture of us, and she gave me a quick hug. And then she went away, and Flam and Priest made awe noises at me, and I told them to shut up.
Yeah. That's I can confirm I was little girl.
You were the little girl.
So
Yeah, good job. Fucking good job. Okay, next.
So Flavenwerfer, if on, thank you, I'm here. Dude, why is your Stella fic etchy? Because I swear to God, Stella would probably cock block everyone. Now, remind me, what the fuck is etchy again?
Sexual.
Not
Sexual.
triple X, but darn close.
And
But not sex.
oh, okay.
Yeah, not sex, but still damn sexy.
Well, then that doesn't apply because there's definitely sex in my Stella fic. So I guess that
think of etchy as visual edging.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
That'll do. Yeah.
Okay, so then I guess maybe she's asking why isn't it etchy then? So then okay, then well it's not N because I was very comfortable with her sexuality. So I guess that's that. So is Spike a great slave brother of Twilight?
No, he's a terrible slave. He can fuck off.
And can we have any memes, please? We'll post some we'll post some spicy memes afterwards because we're running low on time. So, Latrius asked, for the guests, if you could hug a bat pony, would you? Fuck yes, I would. You guys.
Duh. Of course I would. I might lose my eardrums, but I still do it.
Yeah. The second you hug them, it was like congratulatory E right into your ear.
Yeah. Like you'd be fucked. That's it.
Eardrums explode from the echolocation. So,
we have the best last question.
We do.
All right. And the last question from Mobile Sam again asks, potato?
Potato.
I didn't see that one coming. I'll be honest.
And that was not the last question I think she was referring to.
Indeed. And
potato fries are good. Let me just go ahead and say that. That's probably what it's going.
And Shakespeare asks here, or doesn't ask, but states here, have a fluffy Luna cat pone.
Because Luna cat pone. A kitty cat.
And a dance. And with that concludes all the fan submitted questions.
We made it!
We made
all
it
right.
with exactly 2 minutes to spare.
Do you know how to do the readout, Flam?
So, is this the part where we do? I forget. Do we shill the Patreon at the end, or no?
We shill. We are. I will post a link. We have a Patreon. We don't take the money; it goes to horses. We are actually $4 away from being able to horse, which means that it goes specifically to one horse, and they get to be the Barcast horse. I'm not kidding. That's what we're doing. Also, please remember to join the Barcast itself. We are on FimFiction. You can also follow us on YouTube, etc. And on Twitch. Remember to do it. Here's fucking group. Go do that. And also, thank you for following Paul during this podcast. And that's pretty much it.
Indeed. So, with that, I would like to expressly thank each and every one of you for joining us on the latest installment of the Barcast. As we are just about out of time, I was the impromptu host, Flavenwerfer. We've got Anon Pencil.
Fuck you all.
Enigmatic Otaku.
Such great mountain cleavage I saw that day.
Indeed. Oh, actually, before we continue, Lise was saying we had a new contest.
Nope, that's Priest's job, not ours.
That's Priest's job, so next time. We got Milk.
I'm not dead.
We've got Ravage.
I didn't put my foot in my mouth.
And ladies and gentlemen, we've had the wonderful PaulAsaran with us.
Nice to meet you, all you dumb yanks.
Indeed. So it was an excellent time on. We hope you had an excellent time, and to the audience, we hope you had an awesome time as well. So with that, I am Flavenwerfer, and we are signing off. Have a wonderful
Go get drunk,
evening, everyone.
motherfuckers!
What she said.